Hey you guys, welcome to another episode of Branding While Black. I'm your host, Shanae Washington, and my mission is to educate, empower, and economically develop my people. So this is episode 6, and we are going to be talking to the co-founder of the Frobelles app. And her name is Yvonne Ottley, and she is from across the pond in the UK. And it's her and her daughter, they created this dress up game app, and it's really cute, and it seems like it's a lot of fun for little girls who just want to see themselves represented in these dress up games. So I am so excited to really chop it up with her and see what was the inspiration behind doing something like this, and to also bring her daughter into the fold. It was really kind of her daughter's idea. So I'm super excited for you guys to hear all of that. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you are listening to us on. We are on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and we are on iHeartRadio now. So especially if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, please drop us a review if you get a chance. All right, you guys, let's hop into this interview. Guys, I'm so excited today because we have the beautiful, amazing Miss Yvonne Ottley, and she is part of the dynamic duo that came up with the app Frobelles. And it's this cute little app, and I can't wait for y'all to hear about it. So welcome, Miss Yvonne, and thank you so much for chopping it up with us and telling us about what you and your daughter have going on. So please just tell us about the app.
I'm really excited to meet you and to have a chance to share my story today. So it's really appreciated. Our story began a couple of years ago. We were having a discussion around characters in the dress-up games that my daughter loved to play. So she was around 6 years old at the time, and she really enjoyed playing dress-up games. However, one day she did come and ask me why it was that there were no characters with hair like hers that she could play with in the games that she was normally playing with. Could I help her find new games with characters with hair like hers? And I thought that would be a really simple, easy thing to do. So I was like, sure, no problem. Let me check this out. And the more I researched, the more I realized that actually there was a real lack of characters with afro hair in the majority of dress-up games that I came across. So I sat her down and we discussed it, and I said to her, look, we can't find the games that you want, so there could be a means that we could do it ourselves. Is this something that you would want to work on as a project with me? And she was like, yeah, absolutely, I want to do it. She was really excited.
Well, that is very exciting. Do you have any app developing or website developing experience?
So I don't actually have any app developing skills myself. Many moons ago, I was working in graphic design for magazines, so working in publishing, doing the layouts and working with Photoshop and InDesign, but never to the coding levels of an app. Dabbled in HTML very early on, but that's about it. So I definitely needed support in that area, and I knew where to look for it. I was able to find a freelance app developer who has been working with us for the last 2 years on creating the app, and has been an amazing resource to, just, I guess, work on it on our behalf. We're able to input where we need to, and we are also working with a graphic designer. I do have the graphic design skills, but looking at the amount of work that was needed for the game, I did feel more comfortable having support in that area as well. So I think for me, the key things that, really helped us in terms of developing the app and, getting the idea off the ground was 2 things. Research. So I really did a lot of research because I knew that, app developing isn't my forte, if you like. It's not where I have my skills. So really wanted to understand as much as I can so that I can speak the right language with the app developer, so that he can be fully briefed in the way that would make sure, the end result was concise and exactly what we wanted. And, equally, this is a self-funded project. So I've had no external investment. This has all been out of our pocket. So wanted to also look at, understanding costs and how much money it would take to create something like this. And all of those things helped me kind of pace myself in terms of the timings that I needed to set myself for launching the app. So it has been, as I said, 2 years. We started at the end of 2018 and we've just finished the beta version this year. We wanted to make sure that the game was done properly, that there was no rush for it, because we wanted it to be done right. So for me, time is really important. A project is not done in a day. Do your due diligence, make sure that you're researching things like protecting your concept, protecting your ideas before you're even speaking to anybody. And then, try to find a network of people to help make your project happen. A lot of the time projects can't be done on your own. You do need to have the right circle of people around you professionally. So I definitely did my research in finding those key players to help my project. And I also made sure that even before speaking to them, just in terms of due diligence and protecting the idea, I had them all look at signing an NDA, so a non-disclosure agreement, so that I know that my ideas are staying within our conversation and not being leaked or shared with the potential of somebody coming in and taking that idea or running with it in a different way.
So as any good parent, I'm sure that before you embarked on this journey with your daughter, that you probably had some lessons that you wanted to impart to her, or some skills that you wanted her to be able to walk out of this with. So can you tell us probably what some of those skills are?
I think it's really important to help children understand also the financial side of business. So with the app, knowing that we were self-funding it ourselves, I was very transparent with Alyssa about the investment that we were making from our own pocket and some of the, small sacrifices that we would have to take in order to progress the game and the project forward. So, in terms of spending, we were definitely budgeting, and I wanted her to be really involved in that so she could understand just how important it was to save, to invest, and the reasons why we were doing it. I think, definitely helping children understand, having that financial head and being able to manage money is such a key skill to have. And the earlier that they can understand that, the better.
So how did you know that your daughter was ready for this to actually be a real business? She's really young. So how did you feel about her being so hands-on in the process?
So when she came to me and said that there aren't characters with afro hair and that she was disappointed about that, I knew that she could be creative enough to work on a project like this with me. And just her enthusiasm alone made me realize that this was something that we could do together and could actually become a viable business for her. And that as she grows, the business will grow as well. And there's, great footing for her to, grow into an entrepreneur and be a businesswoman. So definitely, I think, help your child to pursue their passion, be really mindful of what they enjoy doing, where their talents lie, and just help to nurture that the best way you can.
So you guys were actually able to get some media coverage on your app, and which I think is very cool. And for some entrepreneurs, that's really hard to do because they kind of don't know where to start. So I know you say you worked for a magazine, so you kind of know the ins and outs of it. But with it being representation matters, how specific were you in terms of going after being in these publications? Did they seek you out, or did you do a news press release? How did that whole process come about?
So we were really specific about the media coverage that we wanted to receive. I already had in my mind that I wanted to reach out to specific media outlets like Black Enterprise, like Glam Africa, etc., just to ensure, one, that the journalists and the editorial teams that we were speaking to and pitching to fully understood what we were doing, understood the need for it and why we were doing it, and would cover it in the best light and give it the most appropriate angle. So we had the support from a PR agency, K Flawless PR. The director of the agency is called Kareen. She's also based here in the UK, and she took care of the press release and pitching to the media outlets. But obviously we had our input. We were able to review the press release before it went out and give pointers and make sure that the story that we were relaying in the press release was the right one that we wanted to share. And actually, off the back of the media outlets, these key media outlets that shared our story, we've had mainstream media interest now. So just yesterday, the BBC over here in the UK covered our story on a programme called Newsround, which is a programme specifically for children. And they basically talk about current affairs and share the latest news from around the world. And our gaming app was one of the headline stories of Newsround yesterday, which was an amazing PR win for us. And off the back of that, we've actually had so many emails, so many lovely emails and feedback from children that have actually watched the programme and have been really excited to play the game.
That is really, really amazing. Okay, so before we wrap up, I do want to ask, do you have any advice for parents out there that are looking to get their children into entrepreneurship? And that's really been like a big, I don't want to say a buzzword, but it's been a big topic, especially in the Black community, about creating generational wealth and teaching our children about finance, as you referenced earlier. So, like, what advice do you have for those parents?
I think the advice I would give to parents when it comes to children and potentially like instilling that entrepreneurship from an early age is definitely see where their passions lie. You know, I think it's really important to help children pursue their passion and to help facilitate that, whether that is financially, if possible, with your time, you know, making sure that they have the right mentorship, that sort of thing. For Alyssa, I realized very early on that she was a very creative girl. She loved anything creative, crafting, arts, making things, customizing things. She was always doing activities like that. And she also really enjoyed using devices. So, you know, her screen time she really enjoyed, and she had a real interest in games generally.
I think that that's the best advice. Definitely be in tune with what your kids are passionate about and things that they enjoy doing, because really these days you could really make a business doing almost anything. So yeah, I definitely agree. I think that's great advice. So my next, I guess it's my last question. Oh my God, the time went by so fast. So can you tell us what's next for Frobelles?
What's next for Frobelles? Well, we are really excited to get the full game out. So as you mentioned, Shani, this is the beta version, and we are looking to release the full game imminently. As with these things, I don't want to give an exact date, but we are fast approaching the final stages of testing for that, and we're confident we should have that in the hands of players very soon. And I would love to start looking at where this game is going to go, you know, for the future updates. I already have some ideas. I definitely want to collaborate with fashion brands and hair brands and, you know, do some stuff together that would be really exciting for players. So we want to see where that takes us. And I think I would love to branch out into some more games. I know Alyssa is really keen to release a Frobelles game. We do have Frobelles characters, which we are developing, and we would be really, really pleased to release a game for Frobelles as well. That would be amazing.
Yeah, so I'm definitely wishing you both much, much, much success, because this is very exciting and very cool what you guys are doing. So definitely praying and wishing for the best for you all and sending good vibes your way all the way across the pond. So please tell the good people how they can connect with you if they would like to pick your brain or just ask you some further questions.
So you can connect with us on Instagram. We're super active on there at Frobelles, and we also have our website, frobelles.com. We're keeping both platforms updated on the game any new releases that we do, and just, what we've been up to. So we would love to connect with people on there.
Well, thank you again so much for your time, for your energy, for just your Black girl magicness. I don't think that that's a real word, but I'm totally coining that. But thank you so much for your time. And all right, you guys, I really hope that you enjoy getting to know Miss Yvonne Ottley a little better, as well as her brand, Frobelles. So if you are interested in downloading the app for your daughter, or if you just want to check it out for yourself, it's already in the App Store. It's Frobelles, and you can connect with them on Instagram, which they are very active on their Instagram page, and that's also at Frobelles. Now, if you would like to connect with me, then you can connect with me on Instagram. It's at Shanae J. Washington. You can hit me up in the DMs, or you can text BWB to 504-499-0857, and that's the fastest way to get in touch with me. All right, you guys, I love you, and I will see you next week. Peace.